If you want to see my first look using the Amrezy palette by ABH, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to play with the Amrezy palette. Look at this awesomeness. I do really love the packaging. It's absolutely extra, but that's part of why I love the packaging. So let's just open this up. If you have not seen the swatches for this palette, I will put the swatches video right there. I do recommend taking a look at swatches videos, no matter the channel, if the swatches are available for a palette that you're interested in, because swatches versus what is in the pan can be so different. And if you don't have access to a given swatches video and you have a palette, I highly recommend swatching it for yourself on your skin tone and just getting a feel for how the swatches look on your skin, and then maybe taking the swatches, taking a look at your face, and just deciding how you want to go about using the palette in a way that's going to work for you. And now, speaking of a way that it's going to work for you, I actually did my base makeup with this palette in mind, and I went with the NARS Dolce Vita as my blush, went for some warmer tones for my complexion, and kept the brows pretty simple. By the way, the brows, in honor of the fact that I was using an ABH palette, I actually started using the dip brow. This is only the second time that I've used the dip brow for my brows. I used only this and the ABH clear brow gel. So that's all that I have in my brows. If you want a video on how I apply this to my brows, let me know, because it's fundamentally different from powder or a pencil. So yeah, let me know, and I would be happy to do that for you. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so we are going into this palette, and I am in the mood to use the brush. So this is the brush. This is one side, and this is the other side from ABH, and I'm just in the mood to use the brush that came with the palette. I don't think there's a problem with brushes that come with palettes. Of course, I love my array of brushes. I have 12 brushes that I'm looking at right in front of me here. It's my emergency kit if something goes badly with this, but I have yet to do a look on camera with one of the company's makeup brushes, whether it's Smashbox or ABH or Urban Decay, where the look doesn't turn out fine. So I don't have any sort of anxiety in using those brushes. Okay, let's get into the look. So I want to use Barb today. Barb is the most requested out of the shadows that I was asking about across all of my Anastasia palettes. And the other one is Anastasia, and I will keep that one for another day. It's interesting that those two are the most requested, and they're top and bottom on the same column. I want to use something that is not too deep, but that will work nicely. Now, if I did not have my base set, which I do, I did the same base setting on my eye as I do every video. If you want to see how I set my base, how I create my base makeup for my face, I will leave that video right there. I need something pretty basic, but not so basic as wheat, which I have on my eyelid. I think I'm going to go with, well, really the only one that makes sense to me today is Sensa. So it's quite a matte, but I think that based on the fact that I have a powdery base already, I don't think it's going to be out of control. So let's go right into Sensa. We are getting started. Oh, and I have just an FYI on it as well. I do have a highlight on my brow bone, and that is the number 2 cream product in my Cover FX quad. If you want to see that quad, you can take a look at Partners in Cream. I'll put that video right there as well. That is a quad that I'm trying to pan this year because it is 3 years old. and I need to move it on out. And I don't want to waste it. It's still fine, but it is on its last legs. I'm really hoping to finish most of it this year, which that may be a tall order. So as you can see, I'm dissipating the one dip into Sensa quite a bit on the lid. Oh, by the way, I've been thinking about this a lot. If you want me to do a similar video to this, doing a makeup look, but doing it all in French, Canadian French, let me know, because I would be game. I would put subtitles. You would not be stuck not knowing what the heck I'm saying if you don't speak a word of French. But I thought it might be fun, so I'll leave that with you to mull over, and let me know. If I get a handful of people, then I'll go ahead. But I don't want to do something on the channel that is not going to be enjoyed. So let me know. It's been a fun idea, at least fun for me, to think about and to think about. And yeah, let me know. Okay, so this is going pretty well. I don't want to go much deeper than that. I just wanted to build it up nice and slowly. I'm not sure I love that highlight now that that shadow is on, but it's there. I don't mind this at all. I'm going to take that same brush and just with what's left, go on the lower outer lid, making funny faces along the way. I might go in with more color later, but I don't want to overdo it. Okay, I think that's all right. And so one shade so far, one shadow, apart from the brow bone, which I talked about before. Okay, so now I think I want to just do a little more of Sensa here. I did not load back my brush. I'm just trying to get more on the very, very inner lid. And so I think I want to tone down a little bit that brow bone because it just looks like it's heavy. And I'm going to go into Wasted right here and just dip my brush. Which one do I want? I want the fluffy side still because I just want to sprinkle it slightly on. And I'm just going to go top here and just work my way down. Let's see how much, I don't see much of a difference. Oh, it's worth a shot. Okay, now I'm going to use this other side of the brush and we are going to go into, do I want to do that? I think I'd rather use my finger. I think I'm going to use there's a little fluff on the brush. I think I'm going to use the brush just to get started on the very inner corner, and then I'll use my finger for the rest. So going into Barb, this guy right here, the one that is of interest to a few of you anyway. I really want to push in here. And I did not put glitter glue on because I want to see what kind of a disaster it is without. And if I find that it does have a lot of fallout, I will let you know. And I will test out the same thing, probably with a different eyeshadow in this palette with glitter glue. That's really pretty. And I think I'm going to go deeper on the outer lid now that I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I just want to go a bit deeper here and then maybe reapply a little bit of Barb. But Barb is very pretty. Okay, so wiping off the micro glitter or shimmer, whatever it is. I think that Yugo is what I'm going to use for the very outer lid, and I'm going to use that same side. If I need to diffuse the color a little bit more, I'll go to the fluffy side of the brush. Just want to get a little bit deeper of a color on the outer lid. Gosh, that feels effortless. Seriously. Way to go, ABH. And Amrezy. You picked the colors, so you gotta get some cred. Okay, definitely you want to do all of the mattes before going into Barb, because I'm getting a lot of the glitter onto the outer lid. Now, I'm not going to say I'm mad at it. I'm just saying that if you don't want glitter toward the outer lid, you would not like this experience. Okay, I'm going to go with the fluffy side with just a tap into Yugo. We're talking about, I just went in twice, just on the tip of it, did not drag or anything, just boop, and that's it. And we're going to go into the crease with it. Ooh, boy. Okay, I really like that. Now I'm going to go into Yugo again, but with a brush that is not one of these. Oh, I said I would use it. That's okay. I can make this work. So this brush right here, what I would have used is this little guy because it's quite precise. And you could argue that a liner brush should never be expected in a palette, but I will continue to use this one. So I'm going to go into Yugo again and very carefully go along the lower lash line. And because I'm going as high as I can, it is depositing a little bit lower because of the thickness of the brush. And it's really the effect I was going for, because I was going to use the precision smudger sideways a little bit to get the thickness and then move to a flat position later on around here. So I'm getting the same effect as what I was hoping to do. So that is absolutely fine. I really like this. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, I think, just looking in the mirror here, let me just clean up a little bit. So I'm using a clean brush, which I could clean the ABH brush, but I'm just being lazy. Okay, and I think that worked out okay. Now, I'm going to do the same, I'm going to reapply a little bit of Barb, actually. I want to intensify it. I didn't want to intensify it too much the first time because I realized I wanted to deepen it up the outer V. But now that that is done, I can do the finishing touch here with Barb. Okay, nothing much. I just cleaned off with a Q-tip right on the inner lid because I didn't like the transfer. And I am going to go now to the other eye, do the same thing as I did on this side, except for I am going to go into Yugo before going into Barb, and we can see the difference a little bit. And I will speed that up with some music so you don't have to deal with, basic speed, given you saw how I came up with this side. And then we can talk about the final touches that I'll add once that's done. All right, now that you have seen the second eye done, and I did go back a little bit on this one just to balance them out and make them look decent, because I do want to have a nice eye look today and not completely look lopsided. I do want to finish up the look with some liner and mascara. So I'm going to go and do that right now and then let you know what it is that I used and why. All right, let me walk you through everything that I used since you last saw me. And it's quite a bit, but I do want to just say there is a wild thunderstorm going on outside my window right now. It's not even 5 o'clock and the sky is dark gray. And the thunder that I heard while I was doing this last little set of finishing touches, holy cow. So it may happen again, and I'm just warning in case you are freaked out by that kind of a thing. So, all right, let's talk about what else has been added to my face. First off, let's talk about the lips. I just reapplied what was on my lips during the video, and that is the Becca Topaz and Gilt. It is a lip gloss lip topper from Becca, and I really like it. I think it complements the eye look because there are purpley blue flecks in here, and I feel like it goes really well with the eye look. Next, we have some eyeliners. I used the Lise Watier, and it is in the shade Brun Noir, which means brown black. And it's kind of has a bit of a satiny look to the brown, and that's why I chose it. It's not too harsh of a brown, and I used it on my lower lashes. And so waterline and lash line is what I did on the bottom. I really, really like Lise Watier. It's akin to the 24/7 Glide-Ons by Urban Decay, and I love the fact that I was able to get a bunch of minis because colored liners last for a long time. And so this is probably going to last me 2 years. I don't use brown very often, so that's fine. And then I reapplied this tiny, tiny little Urban Decay Zero on my upper waterline. I did have that at the beginning of the video as well. I do like to accentuate my lash line even if I don't have mascara on, and a black liner on the upper waterline does that beautifully. And then I added mascara. So I added the Sumptuous Extreme mascara by Estee Lauder, and it looks like this. And it works pretty well. I actually find I like it more as it ages. I did 2 coats on my upper lashes, and then I used this high impact Clinique mascara for the lower lashes. And as I've said a number of times on this channel, it is not high impact, which is why I use it on my lower lashes. And I pinch off the ends of my lower lashes because they are very long, and it looks clownish if I just leave it as is, as far as my preferences for my face and my makeup application. And as a finishing touch, I did use the All Nighter Setting Spray by Urban Decay. And yeah, that is it. Oh, and well, I guess I should let you know too, if my hair looks a little bit different, I did add in some spray leave-in conditioner because I found that my curls were kind of absent. I think I just didn't, well, I used a new product earlier today that my hairdresser gave me, and it didn't give me the curl that I wanted. She gave me 3 different things, so I'm trying all 3 to see if there's one that I like more for getting the natural curl and wave in my hair. Long story short, I went back to my good old known leave-in conditioner spray bottle that I know works. So we will have to see. I'm experimenting with my hair, and I may have a video on that at some point when I figure things out and have something to share. Now let's talk about the overall look. I think, oh, I forgot to take some mascara off. Hang on. Okay, that was quick. You had that little dot you're probably staring at now for 5 minutes. Sorry about that. Let's just talk about the overall look in the eyeshadow. I am really happy with Barb. It is a very, very easy way to amp up a look, no question. It is beautiful. It really is beautiful. And I went kind of light with it. I didn't go crazy with the amount of Barb. If I wanted to, I would definitely use a glitter glue, and a lot more would apply just because of the adhesive nature of the glitter glue. More would have just ended up on my eyelid, just the way it is. What do I think of this palette? I really liked the two mattes that I used, Sensa and Yugo. And I knew I would like Yugo, and it is a beautiful way to deepen up the outer lid, and I really could have done a whole lot more Yugo, but I just didn't want to overpower the look with the first impressions of this palette. I think that as I get a feel for it, I will do bolder, different looks, but I wanted to do something that was requested and that would be reasonable for pretty much anyone to play around with, assuming you like some fuchsia and bubblegum pink. I mean, you have to like those kinds of colors to do this look. So I'm pretty happy with it, and let's just recap real quick. I used 4, I think, shadows. So I used Yugo, Sensa, Barb, Wasted, and am I missing anything? And Wasted was on the brow bone, as a reminder. No, that's it. Four shadows in here, not bad. 4 out of 16, already a quarter of the palette tried out. And yeah, I'm not mad at it. I think it looks great, and I do believe that I will use Anastasia as the next look, given that it was also requested. And with that, I will say thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it every single time. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.